WMBF News.
More details about a deadly crash in Darlington. The county coroner tells us that 22-year-old Nathaniel George died from his injuries at the scene. South Carolina Highway Patrol says that crash happened on Ebenezer Road and Geneva Drive Monday night. Investigators tell us a driver crossed the center line and hit another car head-on. Both the Darlington County Coroner's Office and Highway Patrol now investigating that crash. We also know more about a crash we first told you about right here on WMBF News Today. Florence County Coroner tells us that 22-year-old Kristen Steins was killed in the accident on East Old Marion Highway. South Carolina Highway Patrol says Steins overcorrected, went off the road, and hit a power pole Monday night. Steins was wearing a seatbelt at the time. This crash also remains under investigation. Police have arrested two parents they say left Horry County with their 1-year-old after officials tried to take custody of him. Horry County police say Charles Amons and Caitlin Corville wouldn't relinquish custody of Xander in spite of a family court-issued order. It follows a claim of abuse and neglect. After receiving a tip, Tabor City Police found Ammons and Corville and arrested them on March 6 without any problems. Baby Xander is now in the custody of the Department of Social Services. The woman charged in connection to a double murder at the Landmark Resort Hotel in Myrtle Beach waived her bond hearing. 19-year-old Chelsea Griffin and her attorney decided to instead wait until the next hearing before a circuit court judge on May 22nd. Griffin said in court that she was innocent before she was cut off by the judge and her attorney. 23-year-old Alexander Turner faces murder charges in the death of his parents. They were found shot to death in their hotel room Friday night. He also faces the charge of possession of a weapon during a violent crime. A judge could not grant bond for Turner's murder charges on Monday. That hearing will now be held in May at the Conway Courthouse. You also remember that 20-year-old Grant Dollins and 18-year-old Roxana Cumpin, they're facing charges in this case as well. Both were granted $25,000 bond on the charge of accessory after the fact. Cumpin also has a $5,000 bond for possession of a controlled substance. We have answers this morning about Hillary Clinton's email, but her critics say questions remain. Tracy Potts has the latest right now from Washington.
I opted for convenience.
One phone instead of two, but in hindsight, Hillary Clinton tells reporters she'd separate her personal and work email.
I thought using one device would be simpler, and obviously it hasn't worked out that way.
She admits deleting tens of thousands of private emails from her server, but insists that server is secure.
It was on property guarded by the Secret Service, and there were no security breaches.
The top Democrat who urged Clinton to come out publicly is satisfied.
The important thing was that she stepped forward and talked to people. And I think people will be reassured listening to it.
The State Department said again Clinton did nothing illegal.
It's recommendations, they're not regulations, so it's not the law.
But Republican critics are not satisfied that Clinton decided what's personal and what's not. They want an independent investigation. They want the server examined. The Benghazi committee chair says he'll call her to testify at least twice. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Plans to make ammunition that can pierce police armor illegal has been put on hold. The Bureau of Alcohol Tobacco proposed banning some types of ammunition used in AR-15 style rifles that could also be fired from a handgun. Armor-piercing handgun ammunition has been banned since 1986 as a way to protect police officers under the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Protection Act. The agency abandoned the plan after criticism from lawmakers and the public. President Obama is highlighting a new effort to make it easier for your college students to repay their loans. The president has signed the Student Aid Bill of Rights. Mr. Obama says it will make companies that service student loans better communicate with borrowers on how to deal with their repayment options and late payments.
I took a new action to make it easier for students to pay for college and pay off their loans. We're creating a way for you to ask questions about your loans, file a complaint, cut through the bureaucracy, get a faster response. That's not just from the government, that's also from the contractors who, sometimes service your loans.
The president also called for a single website where students can see all of their federal loans in one place.
This just into the newsroom. While you've been sleeping, search and rescue crews are trying to find 7 Marines and 4 soldiers after their helicopter crashed in the Florida Panhandle overnight. The Marines are part of a special operations group, and those soldiers are part of a Louisiana-based National Guard unit. The helicopter was reported missing around 8:30 last night. Search and rescue crews found debris from the crash around 2 this morning. Their helicopter went down during a routine training on a remote beach that's owned and used by the military. And we're going to keep you updated on this through the morning.